Hey everybody, this is Felicia with The Book is Done, coming to you live at 3:30 in the morning. But I'm just getting off work, and I've been meaning to do these reviews for the longest. I have so many to do, so I'm trying to play catch up, as I always am, right? But this book that I am going to talk about is The Last Trip by Kiersten Modglin. Y'all know I'm a K-Mod fan all day, and I've been going through this reading slump here lately. Still trying to read a whole bunch of arcs. Still trying to get that out. If y'all don't follow me already, I am on Instagram at The Book is Done. I'm on TikTok at The Book is Done. I'm on Facebook as The Book is Done. So with the page on there. So I've been everywhere but here. So I apologize about that. But I love me a good Kiersten Modglin book. I have so many that I need to catch up on. Let's see, the newest, I think this is the newest one. Either this or Nine Pines. I have Nine Pines. I just haven't read it yet. Y'all, it goes all the way back to Hemlock. I still haven't read Hemlock yet, and I still have that. And so, got a lot of catching up to do, but baby, this last trip, that was good. And so this is basically, it's a short read. Frida, I'm so sorry. Kiersten's books are not that long to begin with. This one is a little shorter than the other ones because she normally runs about 200 to about 215, 20 pages at the most. And this one is like a little over 180 pages. Oh, but she knows how to pack it in a book. And so this story, it goes back and forth between now and then is him. It just says him. And so I'm trying to remember if it discusses who him is and going back and forth. But in all things, modern day, Calvin and Sadie. Oh, I think it does because it's Calvin. Um, I think. I don't know if I just gave something away. I'm tired. If I did, I am so sorry. Y'all know I don't do spoilers. But Calvin and Sadie are heading out to this cabin. They're trying to have a baby moon to just celebrate them, them being together, just the two of them before the baby comes. She is very much pregnant, and so, like literally like less than a handful of weeks before the baby is due. So they are preparing to go out to this cabin and in the mountains, and they're before they leave to go, they are given news. Calvin is given news that he breaks to Sadie, and he's basically saying, I just found out that I may have a daughter who is like 20 years old. And Sadie is like, I'm sorry, what? Like, and she kind of felt some kind of way because she was like, I want for this baby to be like, I want to be the first to have your first child. And, you're my fiance. And, now I feel like that moment was taken away from me because enter in this child, like, not, and this is Sadie, not to throw shade or anything like that, but I kind of just wanted it to be us three. Now it's like a plus one. So it goes back and forth between the present and then. Then it's talking about a gentleman who was a professor on campus and how he had eyes for this young lady. And he was like, I'm going to make her mine, woo, woo, woo. And so, again, going back and forth between then and the present, it always comes together in the end. And so, Calvin is like, I'm so sorry. Like, I did have a life before I met you. And Calvin, just in his way, Calvin is a little possessive. He's just, I like things, I guess you could say a little OCD. Nothing wrong with that, but it depends on how people portray it and how it is. But Calvin is kind of OCD and he really wants a baby. He's getting older. I think it's like a 20-year age gap between Calvin and Sadie. And so, he is going off, and Sadie just Sadie is just like, I don't know. So they go out to this cabin, and it's this couple who just seems to be shady boots. Like they just rub Sadie the wrong way, and it's like stalking type stuff. And Calvin, he's so attentive. He's just like, I want you to relax. I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna rub your feet, all the things. And she's loving it because she's pregnant. But at the same point in time, it's just like it's still the cloud of the baby or the child. And so she comes up with this bright idea to have the child come out to the cabin so that they can meet, they can start to build rapport, before the baby comes. And so, bad idea. And even she said that, bad idea. So, this person shows up on the doorstep, and she introduces her name, or introduces herself as Janelle. And Sadie is just like, what in the world? But she doesn't say anything. So low key, Sadie knows Janelle, and Janelle is playing this whole thing of being a daughter. She fakes some tears. Calvin is just like, oh my gosh. Janelle said that her mom had died, and always wanted to know who her father is. Woo woo woo. So by this time we're like halfway in the book, and I'm not gonna give anything else away, but Sadie lets Janelle know, like, after I guess Calvin goes to the bathroom or something at the cabin, and Sadie is like, "What are you doing here?" Or should I say X, Y, and Z? And she calls her another name, and Janelle's looking like a deer in headlights, like, I don't know what you mean, but she knows that she knows. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna leave that alone. But baby, the twist that Kiersten did in this book, honey, she should be shamed, and in a good way, because I was carrying this book around as if it was a garment of clothing, and I couldn't like leave without it. It went with me everywhere. And so the ending of this book blew my socks off. I know I had a book hangover for a minute. Okay, a good minute, because I had to sit there and just think about what did I just read. And I'm not going to say that it was along the lines of the amendment. It was close. Those who read the amendment, that whole trilogy of a series, if you haven't, do it. But it was along the line of that shocker type vibe. And so the last trip, even though it was a short book or a smaller book from the others, because I believe Hemlock is like almost 300 pages, I believe. In all things, seriously worth it. I cannot wait to dig into the other books that I have of hers. I have so much to catch up on, and a lot of the arcs have been digital. Y'all know I'm a paperback girl, so just trying to get my feel with that. But it's been some good arcs. Oh my goodness, the one that I finished yesterday was called The Last Nanny by Rosemary Wilhide. Baby, look, it was so good. That book comes out on July 11th. I'm going to do a separate video about it probably later on today, because I do need to go to bed. But that book was so good. I'm also reading The Crimson Knot by Nadija Mujagic. I always mess up her name, but it's the second in a 3-part series. The first book was called The First Thread. I read that A1. Oh my, and it's a true story based on true events, all 3 books. And so it's been some good reading going on, so I apologize for the absence. I cannot neglect my crew here on YouTube. Y'all have been rocking it with me from Jump Street, from the beginning. So I cannot thank you enough. But definitely check out The Last Trip by Kiersten Modglin. And let me know what your thoughts are. I can't get my hair out of my face, but I hope that y'all are having a good day so far, and that y'all are getting some rest. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I'll respond to you. This is Felicia with The Book Is Done, and I'm out.